What is up, DMV Hoops fans? Welcome into another Believe in DMV Hoops. I'm Matt Moderno. I'm joined here today by Darren Buchanan Jr. of George Washington Basketball. Darren, how are you? How's things? How's your summer been so far?
I'm doing well. Summer's been great. A lot of new guys here on campus, so
Sure.
just building that chemistry with them. So it's been great. Summer definitely been fun for sure.
I love it. Before we get too far into this, just going to knock out our ad reads here. Brought to you by Stateside Vodka and their Surfside Hard Iced Teas, hard lemonades. At this time of year, when it's this hot out, they're all delicious, so you can't go wrong there. And brought to you by BetOnline. It's your number one source for all your betting needs this season. From MLB, golf, WNBA, UFC, tennis, anything you can think of. Get the latest stats, news, scores available for your favorite teams. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports available right to your phone. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to join BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, for anybody not familiar with the game, Darren, you averaged about 16 points last year, about 6.5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, 1.5 steals. Honestly, just a hugely impactful player for a GW team that you guys started out really strong. I think, little injuries added up and stuff like that over the course of the year. But I think you guys have a bright future as a team. You redshirted the year before at Virginia Tech. So last year, you were one of the freshmen in the Atlantic 10 conference, along with your teammate, Garrett Johnson, that made the most noise. And we're just happy to have you on. I guess, how was year one at GW for you?
Year one was pretty good, despite the fact that we didn't have a season that we wanted.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was good for me to be able to play last year. Opened my eyes to a lot of things. I tell people all the time, I think very sure that Virginia Tech was probably one of the best things I could have done.
Okay.
It allowed me to just be real with myself and allowed me to really tap in and really show how much I love the game. I took a year off, basically didn't play. And when I got here, I just knew I had to reinvent myself. And so last year, year one was just me doing that, reinventing myself, finding out my identity as a player at the college level. And it was a great season for me personally, but I really didn't want to get I don't get too caught up in my personal goals. End of the day, it's a team game. I want to win. Always been a winner, and that's a goal this year for year two, to win. So,
love that. Yeah, I mean, I think anybody who watched you play, noticed the impact you made on games for GW, and your teammates all talked about that as well. For anyone who hasn't seen you play, though, how would you describe your game? I guess it's always interesting. Yeah, I can describe your game, but to hear how you, the player, describe yourself, I think it's always interesting for people too.
I would say a high motor guy, super versatile, can do a lot of things on the court. I think I could score at 3 levels. I could defend any position on the court. I just think I impact the game in any way, that a lot of ways that don't show up on the stat sheet as well. I make hustle plays. I shoot a ball, rebound the ball. I just think I'm an all-around winner. I think if you describe my game, I just say a guy who make winning plays, and that's me. Always wanted to win, hate losing. So I think whatever team needs me to do, I'm going to do it. So I'll just say an all-around dog. That's a dog on the offensive and defensive end for sure.
That's about how I would describe you too. I think versatility is the first word I think of when I watch you play, because sometimes you're bringing the ball up or you're getting a rebound and you grab and go on your end, or like you said, I've seen you guard point guards, I've seen you guard power forwards. It seems to be whatever Coach Caputo needs of you.
For sure, gotta do it.
Yeah. I like to ask guys who they like to watch or study and things like that. And I had actually seen this from you previously, and I saw you mention guys like Julius Randle, Bam Adebayo, even Anthony Edwards, and Jalen Brunson. And I think that points to that versatility of taking a little bit of different guys who all play, very different styles of basketball and making a little bit of each of their things kind of your own. I think that's a really smart way to look at it.
Yeah, no, definitely. I definitely say those 4 guys still. And some people got surprised I said Brunson, but he plays in the post a lot.
Yeah.
And to just his footwork in the post is something I've been studying with the coaches here. And I just love Anthony Edwards, his approach to the game, the way he gets downhill, plays with force. That's how I want to play. So that's why I take things from him. And that Bam, he's kind of he's a 4-man, but he does a lot of things. He makes from the 4. So does Julius Randle. So that's why I take those tips from them. So I just try to amplify all those things in my game. But I've been spending a lot of time on Brunson, post work a lot this summer. So that's been kind of the main focus for me a little bit.
No, that's great. And I think that's something that people kind of don't think of or fully appreciate about his game too, and that you're
Yeah.
watching that and stealing things like his footwork and stuff like that. That's pretty awesome. You mentioned how last season was for you individually. I guess I'm assuming that that the team didn't have the level of success. I think
Yeah.
most people who watched this team play thought it could have had last year. Was that a big factor in wanting to come back this season too, and just or you were coming back no matter what? Like, I guess walk us through the decision to come back here. What were the factors in that?
Decision to come back was pretty easy for me. Starting off with one, the opportunity here. We had the opportunity to return all our guys basically from last year,
Mhm.
and it was just something that I really wanted to do. And also me being from the DC area, I think it's big. And coming back for year one to see how I did being back home, I was like, why
Mhm.
not come back and do it again? So that definitely played a part. And then like the coaches, like I got a great relationship with all the coaches here, from the head coaches to the GAs to the trainers. So it's just a great school, great place. And I was just like, why not? Like I don't see like why I would leave.
Sure.
We got a good team that we brought in this year, and people like to bring up NIL. That didn't play a factor with me. I really didn't care about when
Mhm.
it came to NIL. Honestly, I told Coach Caputo I was just like I'm here, like I'm here to stay. So that was pretty much it. And I just love the atmosphere here. A lot of people here on campus. Like I'm home, so it feels good
Mhm.
to be here. So I was just like, year two, I gotta bring it back. And I just wanted to win. I just knew last year just left a feeling that I just didn't like, and I was just like,
Mhm.
well, this is the year where I gotta go change that. So that definitely played a part in me coming back.
I think too, when you're kind of in on the ground floor of somebody like, rebuilding a program like coach wants to do here and kind of putting his own stamp on it. I think that's probably a nice opportunity to be like, hey, at the forefront of kind of kicking this thing off. And I think anybody who's talked to him, feels like he's going to do a great job there and get this where he wants to get it to. And
Yeah,
being in on that early, you guys have a nice young core. Like you said, having all those other young guys back with you, I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Like just do something special. And I think, you guys have an opportunity to maybe surprise some people too that aren't expecting as
for
much from
sure,
you guys as I think you can bring.
for sure.
Just talking through that decision here a little bit more. Um, you said of yourself, Garrett, and then Jacoy and Trey Autry. Us four have had a lot of sit downs with one another. If we really will lock in with one another and put the respective work in, I don't think there's anyone else in the A10 who we compete with, can compete with, or can't compete with. Garrett obviously loses. Is probably going to lose at least the majority of this year, if not the whole thing
Yeah,
already. I would say with an injury, which is just such a bummer. He's already been through so much. Seems like guys have really rallied around Garrett last year of how he came back from all the hip stuff. I guess what was that like for you guys as teammates when you heard the news that he was going to miss the season?
um, to be honest, I was upset. Like I was really
Sure.
like super upset because just knowing the work that he put in to get where he is now. Had a lot of people doubting him coming into the year, like, oh,
Yeah.
he's not the same, he's not this, he's not that, and he proved everybody wrong. And
Hmm.
like from day one when we got here last summer, like me and Garrett took a walk to Chipotle. When we have a Chipotle on campus, like
Yeah.
5 minutes, like 2 minutes away, we walked 30 minutes with each other, and we are just talking like the
Sure.
whole walk. And I was just like, nah, like that's really like a brother to me. So
Hmm.
when that happened, I was in disbelief. I was upset. I actually shed a couple of tears for him. I'm gonna
Sure.
be
Nice.
truly honest,
No,
because
I
just the
believe it.
person that he is, the work that he put in day out, like it's just sad to see it happen to a person
Mhm.
like that. And I told him this year, like every game is
For him.
it's for him this year for sure.
Mm.
So we like it hurts to lose him like no doubt, but I know for a fact that I'm gonna make it up for him.
You guys seem like a really close group, so I imagine, like you said, everybody's planning to rally around him, and
Yeah,
uh,
definitely.
he's been through so much already. But I think the nice thing is here, like if anybody's equipped to fight through something like this and bounce back,
It's
as
him.
good
Yeah,
as new, yeah, exactly. So that was definitely a bummer to hear, but I know he'll be back stronger than ever. I guess are there things you have to do now to step up to fill some of the things he was going to do for the team? Like, is there a different role you think you'll have to take on from last season to this season? I guess, how do you see your role evolving here in year two?
I won't say a different role. I just think it become me just growing up more. I think I got to be more of a leader now, especially losing him. I think, and then also I got to be more I got to become a lot more consistent with my energy every day because I know my teammates go as I go. So if I come in and don't got the same energy every day, then I know we ain't gonna have that good of a day. So I just got to be more consistent with that. And far as like plan wise, I don't think my role changes. I just think I more would be asked of me to do like rebound, defend the other team's best player, things like that. So, and I'm ready for it. I'm definitely ready for it. I told Coach Caputo that I'll be ready for it, and I'm excited.
I think watching you play last year, it was obviously really cool to see, and I don't think everybody knew exactly what to expect, from you after not playing the year before at VT. But like during the year, all I could think was, oh, year two of this guy, we're going to see an even bigger jump here. Do you feel ready to take like that leap? Are there specific things you've like worked on this offseason that you think will help you kind of take that step forward in year two?
Oh yeah, I definitely feel ready. I spent a lot of time this summer just working on my shooting ability. I feel like that's the next biggest step for me, becoming a better shooter. Tighten up my handling. Like I've been working on everything. A lot of mid post work, things like that. So just those things, getting in better shape because I know more is going to be asking me.
Gonna have to play a lot of minutes, probably, right?
Yeah, so definitely just get my body together. Change the way I eat. I did that this summer. Tackling the weights, like everything. I put in a lot of work this summer, and I just can't wait for the season to start so I can definitely show what I've been working on.
You mentioned not wanting to be in the transfer portal again and things like that, and that
Yeah.
being a tough experience. You did a great interview with David Korn that covers GW and talked a lot about that. But also a part of that, Coach Caputo said it wasn't really much of a re-recruitment. He loves being here. He's from DC, wanted to come back home. He had a great year last year. He knows that he was used in a way that was really beneficial for us, for him as a unique player. It wasn't like the LeBron decision or anything like that. I guess, was it in your mind at all to like do that decision and make that early and tell the staff that like, hey, I'm definitely coming back? Because I think a large part of their job in the spring is not only recruiting other people, but it's re-recruiting their own team and keeping guys in house. So do you know that like I guess you made their lives easier, I think, because they didn't have to worry about re-recruiting you and stuff like that. So was that a factor in kind of letting them know early so they could focus on building out the rest of the team?
No, it was a big factor. I knew that this all season we was going to have to fill some shoes, and I just wanted to take the stress off of them. So as soon as the season was over, I stepped to me and I just wanted to tell them like I'm all in. I'm not going nowhere, and they was able to be like, okay, like he's here, so now they could go build the roster that we needed to compete. So I feel like that was my main focus. Like right after the game. In Brooklyn, I went, sat in the stands with my parents. And I was just like, I can't wait to be back here next year. So it was something that I just knew that like I'll be back at GW for sure for year two.
That's incredible, and you don't hear a lot about that in today's era of college basketball. Like that's an unselfish decision. You mentioned not worrying about the NIL. It was just, hey, like this will help my team be better next year, and I think that paid off. Like they did a lot of good work in the portal, bringing guys in. Of the guys that are new to the team here this year, is there anybody that I don't want you to have to single out one guy or anything, but just I'm sure they've all been really good. But anybody you've clicked with so far, or you're really excited to get out on the court with, based on what you've seen so far?
I'm definitely get out on the floor with all of them, but I'll say Sean Hansen. Okay. Sean he's been really good. To have a 5-man that can like make and make passes like out of the 5-man position, it definitely opens the floor for like a downhill driver like me. So it kind of like it's more space and it's more shooting around me. So like with the playmaking that I can do to find him and find others, it's been real good to be on the court with Sean. Gerald Drumble, he's good. He's really good. He's versatile. Like I didn't know he could play point guard. So he been bringing the ball up line practice lately, center offense, and I like it. Like it's a big guard. Yep. Rafael Castro's very good around the rim, super athletic. So is Trey Moss. Like Trey Moss actually has the highest vert in our team. And he's probably like 6'3". So now it's like all the new guys came in and got to work right away. And that's what I love about them. Like nobody came in complaining about anything. We all just like got our head down and went to work. So summer has definitely been great competing with those guys day in and day out. And like I'm excited for the season when we go against somebody else.
Any guys from last year's team that you're expecting a big jump from, this upcoming season? Somebody that's like looked really like they're ready to take a big jump as well from practice.
Ja'Cory Hutchinson.
Okay.
Ja'Cory Hutchinson. He's a dog. I know Ja'Cory since we was like 7 years old, so
that's cool.
Me and him pretty close. But Ja'Cory's definitely growing up into like leading the team as a point guard, getting into offense. Trey Archery shoot the cover of the ball. He been getting better, a lot better defensively, and that's been our main focus too this summer, just getting better defensively. I think that's like we score the ball. I know we're gonna score the ball, but if we can like shut the teams out, that's going to put us above everyone else. Christian Jones, he redshirted last year, but he's as good as it gets. I'm gonna be truly honest. He's going to shock a lot of people. But I definitely think he had a chance to win A-10 Rookie of the Year for sure.
Cool.
And who else? Zam's been picking up pretty well. Zam's been playing pretty well in practice. Like everyone's stepping up so far this year. And
that's great.
Ty Bevins, the freshman, he's been doing pretty well in practice, shooting the ball well, playing good defense. So I'm excited for everybody this year. I think we got a lot of pieces that gel well together. I think we have a lot of different lineups as well. So I'm just excited for it all.
You've talked about kind of being here in the DC area. You said, growing up here, it wasn't common for people to grow up in DC and go to school in DC. Everyone gets to go away. I felt like I left to go to Virginia Tech. I left a huge part of myself behind. I thought that was a really interesting quote. Obviously, it's a DMV hoops focused podcast, so love having DMV guys back here in the DMV. Yeah. But there's also a couple other DMV guys here on the team. A couple of names you just mentioned, like Ty and Trey and things like that. Is that Coy? Like, is that cool to have other local guys, on the roster here as well? Because I think you could just relate sometimes to people that grew up in the same area you did and stuff like that too.
Yeah, that's super cool. Like I said, me and Ja'Cory grew up together. Like we played Little League football and basketball together, so I pretty much known him my whole life. And then I played against Ty a couple times in high school. So just having them guys here, like we all gel off the court, on the court, and like we all got that like kind of DMV toughness to us. Like none of us want to lose, and so it's been great having them here, competing against them, and just building that relationship with them guys as well.
And you can all help the new guys too, kind of get acclimated to the area because you know the lay of the land and stuff.
We even have coaches from the DMV area, like Coach Frank, he's from the DMV area. Aaron Thompson, he's from here. So just having guys that like just from the area that understands it and like knows why like it's super like basketball in DC is huge. So
you talked about just working on your shooting this offseason. Is that like, to me, like you have pro potential, right? And I think maybe the shooting is the next big thing you'll want to show evaluators and stuff like that. Obviously, it's valuable just on the court to help win games, but is that like the next step for you, is to prove to people like, hey, I have the ability to shoot it better than I showed last year?
No, yeah, that's definitely something that's been like on my mind for sure, to just show people that I can shoot the ball. I actually didn't shoot it that bad last year. I think I was probably like 33%, but I didn't take that many. I didn't take that many last year. And I think more so just me shooting them with confidence. Me and Caputo had a lot of talks about that. Spent a lot of time like in the spring and in the summer working on my mechanics a lot. Working on like my release points and my jump shot. So it's definitely got a lot better. Shooting the ball way more at a higher rate. And like I'm just excited for the season to just be able to put that on display the work that I've been putting in with that. So
I'm trying to think about this from another team's perspective. Like, I don't know how someone guards you if you're shooting the ball from a high level at the perimeter. Like, it's just, I think guys were starting to sag off a little bit by the end of the year just because you didn't take a ton. And so just forcing them to have to stay up on you now with the first step you have, or the size advantage you have, or the speed advantage you have, depending on the matchup, like that's going to be really tough for a lot of these A-10 defenses, I think.
Yeah, I think that'll open my game up a lot more, and it'll help me be better off the ball. I definitely been working, playing off the ball a lot more, because I like even at the pro level, I know I won't be on the ball as much with all the other great players that's there. So definitely learning how to be more productive off the ball has been my goal this summer, and I think I've been doing pretty well with that as well.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think we all look forward to seeing all the jumps you guys are taking. So that's pretty cool. Just to kind of wrap us up here a little bit, I've got a couple like lighter questions to close it out with. But before we get there, I one thing I want to ask you about too. the Darren Buchanan Jr. initiative. Can you talk a little bit about what that is and what you're trying to do there to help the community?
Yeah. So I hosted my first camp in June, June 15th this summer, under my LLC that I started called Legendary Experiences.
Okay.
And it was really just to bring all the kids together, do my part in giving back to them. I had my teammates come work the camp to get the kids some knowledge. That's cool. Being around Division I basketball players, they look up to us. They want to, like, we are where they want to be at.
Exactly.
So just having my teammates there was big. My family was big, and just being able to do something that like most people around my age wouldn't do.
Yeah.
I think it was big for me, and it was always something I talked about with my mom since I was in 7th grade myself. So just being able to do that, had a camp, it was huge, and I feel like it's big for me to do that, to just give back to my community, because I know how it is to grow up here in DC. Like,
yep.
I know the pros and the cons. Like, I know how hard it is. So just being an outlet for the kids to come have fun, compete as well. It was good to do the camp. And then in August, I'll be hosting a back to school drive, like giveaway kind of thing. Where I'll be giving away like book bags, school supplies. I got free haircuts for the kids. I got hairstylists for the young ladies, nail tech so they get their nails done. Like it's going to be a big event. And I'm just super blessed and excited to be able to do things like that in my own community. So.
Well, props to you for doing that. That's an incredibly mature thing for someone from your age to recognize. And that's I think a lot of people, old guys like me, haven't even figured out how the best way to give back is. So you're way ahead of the curve there. So that's great. And we'll obviously do our part to try to promote that on the show as we get closer here in August and retweet and all that good stuff too. So thank you for what you're doing for the community. It's awesome.
Thank you.
What's one thing that people might not know about you that you're willing to share with us off the court here? It's a hidden talent or a guilty pleasure TV show or just something you do for fun to kind of unwind outside of basketball.
Well, I say this summer I done got into reading a lot. Like,
okay, that's awesome.
I'm reading this book now called the 48 Laws of Power.
Okay.
It's pretty good. Been teaching me a lot. Like just reading, picking up on things. I like to explore. I go to restaurants by myself pretty much almost all the time. So, like, cool. If you see me out by myself, it's common. Like, I'm not like sad or anything. I just like trying new things. So
sometimes it's kind of nice to get a little you time. And
for sure. And most of the times that like we all go out as a team, like go eat at a restaurant, chill, just enjoy each other's presence. And I think that's about it. I mean, I love video games. The college football got me in a chokehold.
There you go. I bet that's blowing up right now.
Yeah, I'm about to go play that as soon as we're done.
There you go.
So now it's I'm pretty chill off the court. I like to hang out with my friends, family. Definitely spend time with family here, especially me being back home in DC. I go home. I've been home pretty much every weekend this summer. So just spending time with them is definitely something I love doing.
I'm a big fan of coming to see your guys' games. I think the arena is really cool. The environment's good.
Yeah.
Obviously, we talked about not being quite as successful on court as we think last year's team could have been, but you guys were fun to watch. And I think that'll carry over. Coach wants to play a fun style basketball. So beyond what I just said, what's the sales pitch for somebody that hasn't been to a GW game to come out and watch the team play?
I'll say the sales pitch would just be it's a show. I'll say this year for sure. It'll be something to watch. It'll definitely be something to watch. It'll be entertaining. A lot of great players, a lot of dunks.
There you go.
A lot of threes, a lot of everything this year. So I'll definitely say if you can get to the Smith Center, and it's going to be worth it. I promise you, it'll be worth it.
Very cool. Yeah, great atmosphere. The tickets are affordable. It's easy to get to for us in the city. So that's cool.
You can catch the metro.
Yep, exactly. So the whole point of this podcast is to tell DMV stories, just to convey how good basketball is in this area. So you're from this area. You've played in this area. I guess, can you confirm or deny for us, I guess, is the DMV the top basketball area in the country?
By far. I think it is by far. You can just look at it. The WCC probably the best conference in the country. and it's a lot of like great players that came from the DMV. Most known Kevin Durant.
Yep, that's a big one.
A lot of up and coming guys like Jordan Hawkins. I played with him.
He's
Cam
good for
Whitmore
the Pelicans
from
already.
the area. It's like it's a great basketball scene, and I think it's probably the best hoops in the country, to be honest. So
that's what I was hoping you would say. I totally agree with you. Of the folks that you've played from the DMV, whether it's played with or played against or just even pick up against, who's the toughest guy or a tough guy? Like, was there ever a matchup you had where you're like, oh, okay, I got my work cut out for me tonight here?
I'll say in high school, me and Stephon Walker used to go at it every time we played against each other. Like every time, the game was always packed. Like the whole city would come out and watch the game. So I definitely say Stephon Walker. I had some good battles with Cam Whitmore.
Okay.
AAU. Judah Mitz. That's my dog. But Judah Mitz, I played him my sophomore year in the state championship at Gonzaga. That whole team that year was pretty nice at Gonzaga. They had Miles Studi, Terrence Williams, that's at USC now and went to Michigan. Devin Dinkins, Chuck Harris, and it was good. So DMV, I feel like almost every game, every top game you was in, you was like, all right, I got to bring it tonight. So I definitely say pretty much it was like that all the time.
I think the NBA teams were sleeping on Judah. I think he's going to have a big year.
They is for sure. I was just talking to Judah. That's my dog. But they is. But it's okay. He's going to wake them up for sure. I believe
exactly. Yep. They'll know. Who's the next guy from the DMV you think we should talk to here? Any suggestions for good podcast guests?
Like Caden Lewis.
Okay, so we just did a podcast yesterday here with Adrian Stevens at Bullis, and Adrian's answer was also a Caden Lewis. So I feel like we got 2 for 2 in back-to-back days here. I think we got to get a Caden on.
Yeah, got to. He killing right now. That's a little bro.
I got to see him play last year at Governor's Challenge in Salisbury, and he took over a game, and it was like, oh, okay, all right, this dude's got another gear here.
Yeah, Caden's good. Caden's good.
That's awesome. Anybody listening to this that you want to shout out, whether it's friends, family, people with the team that, don't get the full credit you think they deserve, anyone like that?
Yeah, shout out to my teammates. We're going to be good this year. Shout out to Coach Caputo, the whole staff, and shout out to Georgia's Army. We're going to see them this year in the stands going crazy. And go Ravs.
Great answer. All right, last one. Any social media accounts that people can follow here so they can keep up with you and the team as they go this year?
Yeah, my Instagram is D Buchanan Jr. .2, and same on Twitter as well.
Awesome. I will link to those. Darren, thank you so much for doing this. I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys play this year, and you specifically. And have a great rest of your summer here. Get some good work in and get some rest in if you can too, and get ready to kick some butt in year 2.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, everybody, know the drill. If you're listening to this on YouTube right now, click that little like button for us, rate, review, subscribe, all that good stuff. This was Believe in DMV Hoops.